The evolution of Meghan Markle's role in the British royal family. Meghan Markle has, without a doubt, been a story of rethinking and reinterpreting herself during her whole time as a member of the British royal family. This is something that cannot be denied. Without a doubt, this is the circumstance that currently exists. The path that she took to eventually become a member of the royal family was characterized by a combination of traditional functions and contemporary ambitions that she pursued during the course of her journey. An important event that signified the beginning of a move toward a royal family that is more contemporary and varied was the wedding between Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, which took place in May of 2018. This wedding was a landmark event. One of the most important aspects of the royal family was made by this move. It was a momentous occasion that marked the beginning of this change, and the fact that this marriage took place was very significant. In the end, when everything is considered, this marriage would be considered a move in the right direction for the monarchy as a whole. This is because it would be considered a step in the right direction. Meghan, who is well known for her work in the sphere of humanitarianism in addition to her acting profession, brought with her a great dedication to facing issues that are prevalent in society. She brought with her a great commitment to tackling issues that are widespread in society. It is general knowledge that she was successful in each of these objectives that she strove to accomplish during her life. In addition to this, she endeavored to blend this excitement into the royal responsibilities that she was accountable for fulfilling. In terms of the obligation, she was responsible for it. In the beginning, when Meghan first started her job in the royal family, she focused the majority of her attention on activities that are often believed to be normal royal pastimes. The focus of this involvement in the royal family was on activities that are often connected with the royal family. This involvement stood out because of its focus on these activities. This was the manner in which she carried out the great majority of her obligations during the length of her professional career. She thought that by publishing Together, Our Community Cookbook, which was her first substantial initiative, she would be able to raise awareness about her passion for assisting other people and engaging in a variety of activities that are held within the community. The cookbook was a collection of a wide variety of recipes that were contributed by members of the community during its existence. During the course of the implementation of this campaign, Meghan made an attempt to provide assistance to individuals whose lives had been affected by the tragedy that took place at Grenfell Tower. The attempt that Meghan undertook, which served as a representation of her desire to find a way to combine her own interests with her duties as a member of the royal family, served to highlight the desire that she had to do so. The publishing of the cookbook, which garnered a great deal of praise and highlighted her position as a member of the royal family who is both contemporary and involved, brought to light the fact that she is able to communicate with people on a grassroots level. This was brought to light through the release of the cookbook. It was via the cookbook that her personality and her capacity to interact with other people were brought to light, which was one of the things that was revealed. As Meghan and Harry continued to carry out their royal duties, they were subjected to an increasing amount of scrutiny and attention from the media. This focus and scrutiny continued to grow. The concentration and inspection remained constant throughout the entire study. In recent times, there has been a continuous rise in the amount of focus and scrutiny that has been directed towards this particular subject. They were carrying out their responsibilities and commitments when an occurrence occurred while they were doing so. A complicated and frequently contentious connection with the public and the press was the result of the media's preoccupation with Meghan's past, which contributed to the relationship being problematic. Because of this fascination, the relationship itself was challenging. Another component that added to the complexity of the scenario was the couple's efforts to redefine their roles, which made the relationship more difficult to manage. This was an extra factor that contributed to the situation's complexity. This collaboration came about as a result of the efforts that the couple made to reevaluate the responsibilities that were assigned to each of them on an individual basis. The media's portrayal of Meghan, which fluctuated between praise and criticism, worsened the problems that were already present and had an effect on how people saw the pair in the public eye. The media's portrayal of Meghan ranged from acclaim to condemnation. Additionally, the media's representation of Meghan featured both positive and negative aspects of her. There was a key turning point that may be called a turning moment when the two made the decision to stand aside from their positions as senior members of the royal family, which took place at the beginning of the year 2020. This decision represents a turning point. This decision was a pivotal moment that changed everything. This decision was reached by the two individuals on their own. The announcement that they would become financially independent while continuing to support the Queen was a courageous step on their part. The bold action that they took brought attention to the fact that they were prepared to select a different course of action, which suggests that they were open to considering other possibilities. Through the use of this gesture, they expressed their determination to arrive at a different result. As a break from the typical expectations that are linked with royal duties, this choice, which is commonly referred to as Megxit, functioned as a departure. It was a break from those expectations because it was different from what was expected. It has come to light that the difficulties that arise while seeking to realize one's own objectives while conforming to the constraints that are set by royal tradition have been brought to light as a result of this. Following their divorce from the royal family, Meghan and Harry moved to the United States of America at the beginning of their separation. This move occurred at the beginning of their separation. When this event took place, they had just begun their new life together as a couple. During the course of their time there, they engaged in a diverse array of new activities and businesses, and in the end, they came to the realization that they would make the decision to end their personal connection. Their advocacy activity, which ultimately became the primary focus of their operations, was able to continue on their own terms as a result of the foundation of Archewell, their nonprofit organization. This allowed them to continue their work while maintaining their independence. Since this was the case, they were able to proceed with their job on favorable conditions. Because of this, they were able to continue working without being disturbed by any other folks. This allowed them to maintain their productivity. Immediately following the conclusion of her marriage to Prince Harry, Meghan became involved in a number of high-profile media ventures with companies such as Netflix and Spotify. This was followed by the conclusion of her marriage, which was followed by these endeavors. Through her participation in various events, Meghan was able to further solidify her position as a well-known public figure who is dedicated to working for social justice and racial equality. This was made possible by the fact that she was able to further strengthen her position. Throughout the entirety of this trip, Meghan's relationship with the British royal family has remained complex and nuanced, while going through a lot of changes. Throughout the whole of the journey, the circumstance has remained unchanged. During the time that they have been members of the royal family, Meghan and Harry have both made statements to the public and taken part in interviews that have provided insight into their lives. Their experiences have been illuminated by the remarks and interviews that have been provided. The statements and interviews that have been offered have shed light on their experiences, which have been lit accordingly. Not only does this compilation of remarks and interviews offer a fresh perspective on the organization, but it also offers a graphic representation of the difficulties that the group encountered. Throughout the course of their candid conversations, they discuss the constraints and limitations that are associated with leading a life that is synonymous with royalty. This topic sparked a substantial amount of discussion and introspection on the ever-evolving responsibilities that contemporary royals are required to fulfill, and it made a contribution to the overall conversation that was taking place. The path that Meghan Markle has taken within the British royal family has been characterized by a transition away from traditional royal duties and toward a role that is more independent and focused on advocacy. This transition has been a defining element of her path. In a word, this change has been the distinguishing aspect of her direction throughout her journey. Over the course of her whole tenure in the royal family, this shift has been easily obvious throughout the entirety of her stay there. One of the distinctive characteristics that has contributed to the special nature of her professional career is the adjustment that she has made in her work with the family at various points. Her narrative is representative of broader events that have taken place within the monarchy, especially in light of the fact that it draws attention to the ever-changing nature of royal duty and the struggle for personal liberty in the modern day. This narrative illustrates how the monarchy has been impacted by the events that have taken place. The story that she related serves as an example of these more substantial kinds of advancements. A magnificent picture of these transformations is provided to the reader by her narrative, which is open to them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.